Okay, wow, let's get started. First, gotta get the hair out of the eyes. So, let's get ready to telework. All right, so you'll notice a couple things going on my face. This is me without any makeup. I know, horrors of horror. So there's several things going on though as a result of dealing with cancer and chemo and trials. A couple of things. I've got freckles that are going on all over the place. I don't know if these are freckles or if they're aging spots. That's fine. Either way, it's fine. I've got bags under my eyes. I'm noticing I've got dark circles going on. And if you look really closely, there's like veins popping out. This is, I've suspected for many years that I've got like a rosacea thing going on. So anyway, so we're gonna try to take care of some of that. First though, what I think I wanna do is I wanna go ahead and put some argan oil on my face. And I'm just gonna use a very small dab, like literally. It's just a really small dab of oil. I don't know, maybe you guys can look it up for me and tell me if argan oil is good for your skin. I just love the smell of this, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some on. Oh, like and subscribe. Isn't that what they always say? All right, so now that we've got some nice oil going on, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the eyes. And to be honest, we're going to spend a lot of time on the eyes. First, I'm going to start with soft ochre paint pot. And we're going to put just a light thin layer on the eyes. Now, one of the reasons for doing this is when we put our eyeshadow on, we want it to have a nice basic base. We want the shadow to stick nicely, but we also want it to pop. And if you have your eye primed correctly, you'll be able to put on eyeshadow and not have to use as much. The pigment will show up better. Okay, and next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a very light dusting of some shadow. So this is Urban Decay Basics Naked, and I'm going to choose one of the lighter shades here, and I'm just going to do a light dusting. So next what I want to do is I have some eyeshadows here that I'm going to be choosing from. I want to do both green and purple because those are my favorite colors. Can you guess why? So I've got two colors here, or two palettes I should say. I've got from Rimmel London Magnifies Jewel Rocks edition. So you'll notice we've got some beautiful cream colored, tannish colors going to green, and then some other really popping colors here. And then we also have Profusion Wanderlust. This is a gorgeous palette. But like I said, what we're going to be using today is probably one of these purples here, and then also the greens that we've got in Rimmel's collection. So we're going to be using these colors here. Okay. To start off with though, what we want to do is to create a very light shadowing towards the top of the brow or the eye socket. I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to start with this color here. And I'm just going to go in the brow here. Now, one of the things that I'm dealing with is I've got hooded eyes, and I want to make sure that I put some of the color more up, not necessarily in the crease, but more up on my eye. And we're just going to do a light dusting here. How's that look? Is it looking good? Good so far? Alright. So next what I want to do is I want to take a brush that's a little bit more compact. Okay. So we are in the middle of coronavirus outbreak. I think today's Tuesday, so this is 7 days for us. And we've been teleworking from home, which, by the way, I had to eat my words because I was like, there's no way that they're going to let us contractors work from home. But lo and behold, they did. Wow. Anyway, so yeah, so we're working from home. This is not on work time though. Just want to make that very clear. This is after work hours. But yes, we're still getting ready. Get ready with Victoria to telework. So I'm slowly layering on the green, and I'm trying to take it as slow as possible because oftentimes what will happen is with these darker shades, you'll put them on, and if you're not careful, you put a whole bunch on, and then it's really hard to take off if it winds up being too much. So it's always best to layer on more rather than have to worry about taking off the excess. Okay, so you'll notice that even when I'm not doing this, when I've got my eyes just regular, you should still see the green, okay? It's not all the way in my crease, but it's a little bit up above the crease, okay? So now what I want to do is I want to work on the outer corner. And this one, we are going to work a little bit darker here. Okay. As some of you know, I'm battling cancer, and it will be 5 years this coming November. It's March right now. And I was originally given a 10% chance of living to this point. So, by the grace of God, I have made it this far. I'm very thankful, so very thankful. But with that said, that's not to say that I haven't had my struggles. I've had to battle with losing hair, extremely dry skin, and even now you can see how it's really taken over some of it and given me some problem areas. I think that's looking pretty good. What do you guys think? I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, so next what I want to do is I want to go a little bit lighter. So I'm going to take a new brush, a new clean brush, and I'm going to go in with a slightly lighter green. Anyway, so I've had some issues along the way that probably nobody would realize that I was dealing with. For instance, one of the first chemo drugs that I was on would cause not only my hair to fall out, but also my eyelashes to curl into my eyeball. And it hurt to the point where I would just start plucking out my eyelashes. So that was pretty pretty harsh to deal with. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? See how pretty that is? Okay, all right. Let's see here. Next up, what I want to do is I want to put a nice light color on the inside. Something perhaps with a little bit of shimmer. I'm going to go into Rimmel. I'm going to use these colors. To do this though, I want to make sure that it sticks nicely. I don't want it falling off. So I'm going to spritz. That way it goes on and it packs nicely. Yeah, I think one of the things that I've learned, and I know other people have heard this before too, because I've said it many times, I think one of the things that I've learned most throughout this whole journey of dealing with cancer is that you never know what someone's going through. Just to look at them, you don't know that they're battling stage 4 colon cancer, or that they're battling lymphoma or multiple sclerosis or whatever the case may be. Just by looking at someone, you can't possibly know what it is, what their battles are that they're going through. And we as humans, we need to learn to be kind to each other. Where we can help, we need to pitch in. So before you go judging someone, saying, oh, they don't need that parking spot, or, oh, they're fine, they're just fine. You have no idea if that person is wondering, am I going to see another Christmas? Are my kids going to be okay without me? You know, there's battles that these people are going through that you couldn't possibly imagine. So, be kind. Anyway, okay. Enough preaching. Okay, back to getting beautiful for teleworking. I'm trying to keep the colors lifted up this way. Now what I'd like to do is put a little bit more of that creamy yellow up in, there we go. See, not too much. See, I don't want to, there's people that they'll do like the whole eyebrow. You don't need that much. Just a little bit will go a long way, okay? Now, I've also seen some people, they'll do the corner of their eyes here, okay? That's something you can do. I prefer not to, only because it draws a little bit too much attention to all the wrinkles I've got going on. Anyway, okay. I think that's looking pretty good. I think what I want to do is I want to do a final brush to get some of the colors subdued a little bit. Alright, next I want to put on a little bit of mascara. So next up what we're going to do is we're going to put on some eyelashes. These are Salon Perfect 652. These are my favorite. They're very easy to put on and very easy to bend and have mold to your eye. I don't know if you noticed this, but I've got eyes that are not the same shape. So it makes it pretty much a challenge. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to be back. I'm going to go ahead and put on the lashes. Okay, so now we have the eyelashes on. I think it's looking pretty good. Alright, so sometimes when you put lashes on though, there's like a little gap that's in between the lashes and the corner of your eye. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll get a little bit of eyeliner, and I'll just kind of like fill in some of the corners there. Just so that it doesn't seem such a cutoff and so obvious that you're wearing eyelashes. Well, it is kind of obvious that you're wearing eyelashes, isn't it? Oh well. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put a light dusting, a very, very, very light dusting of some concealer. And I'm talking, this stuff is amazing and petrifying all at the same time. So when I say we're going to use a light dusting, I mean like barely touching. Because you'd be surprised how far this stuff will go. Got some serious spider veins going on. What do you do? What do you do? That's the way H goes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take my sponge here, and it's already dampened. And I gotta be honest, I'm still, you know, I come from the days where you just put it on with your fingers and you just start blending all over the place. So I'm still myself getting used to this stuff. So we'll see. I'm still getting used to using the sponge. Hello.
You're not live casting?
Live? Oh, hell no. No, I'm recording it that way I can edit out all these spots. Okay. So now that I think I've got my foundation relatively well. By the way, what I'm using here is Wet n Wild Foundation Dewy Luminix. So this stuff is great. It's very moisturizing. You thought I was done with the eyes, but I'm not. Next up, what we're gonna do is the brows. So, another one of those things that you're dealing with chemo, it's not just the hair on your head that's falling out, it's your eyelashes, it's your eyebrows. And I have noticed I'm having less and less brows. So I'm taking care of that here. Is that good? I think so. Okay. We'll call it good. Okay, next up is blush. So there's two colors we're actually going to be working with here. We're going to be working with Bare Minerals. This is in Warm Deep, and then also some True Match blush from L'Oreal. So I'm going to do a little bit of like kind of contouring, kind of, not too much, but we're going to do that with the Warm. Shadow, we're going to put in some pretty pink color. highlighting. Now this is something that my coworker gave me. Thank you, April. That she suggested I show some highlighting. So we'll put a little bit on. I'm still not entirely convinced that I like it, but that's fine. Today we are working from home and we're going to try it. Okay. On the nose and a little on the lip. There we go. Okay. Now, we're not done yet. You probably thought I was done with the eyes, but we're not. We're doing, if you'll remember, I said that I wanted to do green and purple. So we do have the green, we do have a little bit of highlighting shimmer going on, but now we want purple. Now you'll notice I haven't done anything underneath of my eye for two reasons. First of all, I rarely put anything underneath of my eye because I don't have as many eyelashes as a lot of other people do. And then second of all, it tends to make me look like I've got bags and circles. So rarely do I put anything under the eye. But Angela Bright did a purple and green together that I loved. So we're gonna try it. All right, I'm gonna take this purple and I'm gonna use the purple as a liner. But I'm going to do it really lightly. That I've done in the past. Another problem with having hooded eyes is that anytime you try to do a cat eye, it tends to disappear in the lid. And when I was younger, I was able to do a cat eye really nicely, which is why I have the screen name Cat's Eyes. But now because of my hooded eyes, I'm not able to do a cat eye the way I like. However, I have found one technique that I do like, and that is to take the color that you like to use and then very lightly draw it out from the lower lid like that. You see that? And even that is darker than what I would normally try to do, but again, just something that you can play with, something you can see if you like doing. One of these days I'll get a hooded cat eye figured out. There. Okay. And now I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm just going to soften the edges. And for those of you that must use eyeliner, what I'd like you to consider is only doing the outer corner instead of going all the way in. I find that if I do the whole liner, the whole eyelid, my eyes tend to close up. So I try to keep the inner open and the outer pulled out. Okay, I think that's just about it. Let me try to find a lash or two on the bottom. And finally, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put on some lipstick. This is a matte lipstick that my mother, my beautiful best friend mother, gave me. Elizabeth, thank you so much. This is Milani, number 69, Matte Beauty. Got a big, huge one here. And then a couple of lines here and there. And of course there's circle. Anyway, I'm not going to nitpick. one last thing we need to do, and then we're all done, and we're ready to telework. There. All done. Because you don't need makeup to telework.